We'll start today with an NFL draft preview. Um, Preview meaning like what are we looking forward to this year? As we based off of things we've seen in college, we have a lot of great players that are beginning to they're going to get to start have that dream come true um, and begin their career as an NFL player. This is not an easy road. It's 1% that make it this far, and then you got to get in training camp, not get hurt. So the road ain't over. It's just getting started, but that's the exciting part. See, and you know what? Real quick pause, because see, I got to come from them. That's what HBO's Hard Knocks used to be about. It used to be about addressing fantasy, not fantasy, training camp. Training camp, like what these players go through, the grit, the grind, the attitudes with the coaches that they get. Yes, they do. These same kids that end up having to do belly rolls because they got an attitude with coach. These same players, they didn't change just because they became 28, 24. Sometimes a good coach can help minimize it, but I didn't send plenty of players. Don't hit that track, man. Don't hit it. Come on, super. Let me tell you something about me. If coach call you a superstar, I'm actually using that in a negative context. Because there ain't no superstars on my team. Okay? So if I see you out there doing something you think you're going to do in the game, hey, superstar, come in. Hey, give me 4 laps. I don't know where you thought you were going to do that at, but no, sir, 2 hands on the ball at all times. You ain't one-handed catching at practice. You crazy? Even if I come up, here's the thing what I tell my players. You want a one-hand catch? You better be at home in private. Or you better be doing it on the field before I pull up to practice. Because if I see one-handed catching from my players, I'm gonna ring their left necks. And we're running for a long time to practice. See, that's what y'all need to be doing is conditioning your body instead of worrying about here trying to be Odell Beckham. Now, do I do one-handed catch training? Absolutely. Because there's a purpose for me to do it, not for them to just go ahead and gallop it thinking they're going to do this crap in the game, because I did it with my son. One-handed training is I have them have their backs turned, and when I say, hut, the ball's in the air, and they need to do a quick turnaround and try to catch the ball with their hand. And then there's another one I do where I send them on a short streak, and I send the ball to the trajectory as if it was going out of bounds, so they need to lean in for it. And the reason why is because sometimes that defender's going to grab or hold or lean against that hand that you can't get up. So you need to learn how to get that other hand up for reaction purposes to see if you can still get that ball. Okay? If not, you still get the pass interference because he had that other hand locked. That's what I do one-handed catch training for. But you ain't gonna be just out here just, got it. No. You got what? You got me 50 laps. Go. 50 push-ups, yeah. No, laps to do, depending on how big the track is. It might be 2. Because you still got practice to do. I'm not trying to have you run a lap at practice, all practice. But that's what I have a big enough track for, so I can send you each on a couple. You get sent to the track for silly stuff like that. You get sent to the track for false starts. Oh, that's coaches. Anything that's a pet peeve to coach. Oh, you and that track gonna be best friends. Because I'm not gonna do push-ups with you. I mean, we ain't gonna do push-ups and you sit-ups. You're gonna run. And don't leave your mouthpiece. Do not leave your mouthpiece at home. Don't leave your helmet at home. Do not leave equipment at home. Do not entrust equipment to your parents. They don't wear it. You do. So what you think gonna happen if I come to practice and I see a parent holding your helmet or holding your pads before you get ready to put them on for practice? Hey, go hit that track. And then come get dressed. And they'll know why. And they'll look at their parents like, move. No, don't blame your mama. She dropped you off. She ain't the chauffeur. Okay? So the chauffeurs get your luggage. You get what I'm saying? Okay? She was your ride, pimp. This is an extracurricular activity, meaning your mama had to bring you. So bring your stuff. All right. Coach don't play on the field. I really don't. I have a lot of I do a lot. This is today's show is for. It's like a reintroduction to a lot of those who haven't really watched my show. Giving you a little lay of the land of coach, before we get into some more talking about these young players. What's good, my guy Teddy? Hey, baseball with Teddy, please. Hey, it's baseball season, y'all. Okay. Hey, this is the time. Teddy's here. And look, he's been doing his homework the whole offseason. The whole offseason, one but a few months, because buddy, from October, Teddy has been to work. All right. And now look at April. Baseball season is here. And Teddy, his show, the #1 baseball show in all of the world, is kicking back off. So please tune in to Baseball with Teddy, guys. All right. Welcome, Teddy. Welcome. Hey, see, Teddy's gonna be on every show because we're gonna fix the crap they tried to fool him with last year, 30-second draft. Joe, we're gonna have to do something about this 30-second draft and pimp. We're gonna have to figure something out. That's gonna have to change. Let's see. We got some news, any update. Okay. All right. So where we at? Oh yeah. So coach makes you run. But at the end of the day, when we get on the football field, we're probably one of the most conditioned teams. I'm gonna use the punishment in the right way. I don't need you doing push-ups. Push-ups ain't doing nothing for you in the game. Push-ups are not doing nothing for you in practice. What I need you to do is run because I need those legs conditioned. If you just decide you don't want to bring your equipment to practice, okay? Or if you want to entrust it to your parents when it should be in your hands, you're gonna run that lap. Don't get them laps. But other than that, again, like I do vigorous training. Like I don't treat these kids. I have my son's 5, 6, and 7-year-old team, and we won every game. It was a flag football game. We won every game. Here is the funny part, though. I had a parent. Now our shirts were black. Our team shirts were black, and I think we were winning 26-0. And we were going in the fourth quarter, and I told all my starters to sit down. My son, who was the center, who loved snapping the ball, which was great because my quarterback loved him in the center. He got mad because he had to play quarterback. And he hates playing quarterback. This is when he's 5. He didn't like it. He just liked to play center and run. Okay. He liked to hike the ball and run. But he was the backup quarterback when I needed to put all the starters out. Okay. I had a parent when I was walking up and down the sideline literally say he's 5, 6, and 7-year-olds. He said that black team is too aggressive. I mean, they were. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's my personality. They picked up my personality. It was just funny to be just as I'm walking. She wasn't trying to be rude but in her mentality, like these are 5, 6, and 7-year-olds. Why do I have them out here getting interceptions? Yeah, we average like 2 picks a game, y'all. That flag, bro, you wasn't getting past 5 yards on my defense with that flag. Nah, it was shut down. It was all shut down. I even beat up on the coach who was so I coached for the Zion ZBs. That's where I coached, and we went 10-2, lost in the Super Bowl. Oh, this is my fault. But anyway, the same organization asked me to do flag football for them. So I said, yeah, no problem. So it was a fun experience, man. It was a really fun experience, but I didn't know none of these kids. None of them. I had one Friday. I want to explain to y'all the lay of the land, okay? Just so you guys can see where Coach come from. I was given one Friday, 1 hour, and we had a game on Saturday. That's it. That's all Coach had every week. That's it. 7 weeks. So we went 7-0. One Friday, 1 hour. Now I stood around in practice when I had my guys working on the stuff I had them working on, ball security, because this is 5, 6, and 7-year-olds. We run the ball, okay? Ball security, handoffs properly, running, okay? Because we're gonna be fast. I had a small team. We're gonna be fast. But I looked around at the practices, and man, there were some drills that these dudes were doing. I was just like, really? It's flag football? Dude, I had one formation that I used the entire season. You understand? Here is what it looked like. That's my son as a center. I I had the quarterback, and right behind him was one running back. But I had three on the field. Why? Because the other two were right there at wing. So he could hand off to either wing on a play, or he could turn around and hand off to the one directly behind him. Okay, that was plays 1, 2, 3. Simple. They're 5, 6, and 7. I'm not trying to make this too complicated for them. I'm trying to win some football games, right? All right. So, mind you, let's take it back. It was a draft. I didn't know none of these players. Again, I didn't know anyone. All I had was my son's card because the rule was you had to have your son on your team. Okay. Somehow that only worked. That worked for everybody except for one, which was the head coach of the 5, 6, and 7-year-old tackle team. He didn't want his son. So his excuse was he doesn't coach his own kid, right? Okay. Now I've seen his older son. I see how well he works with his older son, who plays wide receiver. I've never seen him play with his other son on the football field. So we're going to because his son don't play football. So out of arrogance, I picked him. He wasn't my first pick, but out of arrogance, he was my last pick. My first pick was my son. I looked at my son's card. And I said, okay, but you, because I watched him do his little 20-yard dash, 40-yard dash. Mind you, this is his first time being athletic. He ain't never been athletic before. The boy's so athletic now, kind of scared me. But anyway, back then, there was nothing there. Remember, he had just turned 5 in April, and then this flag football happened in May. So there was no athleticism to my son. I told that dude, Adrian, run as fast as you can. He said, run super fast, Dad. I said, yeah, run super fast. That boy kicked his feet. He looked like Isaiah Pacheco. I said, oh no, buddy, not that, not play super fast, because he was just like moving his hands and feet really fast, but like he wasn't going nowhere. I said, I'm gonna take the hit on that one. We'll hopefully fix that through practices. So with he couldn't catch. Again, just football was not his thing. He only did it for me because I asked him. I said, "Hey, you want to go with me?" Because he always came and watched me coach football, but I never had him. He would do some of the drills, like the beginning stuff when they're doing like exercise stuff and conditioning body stuff before we do stuff with the ball. He never, interfered with that stuff. And anytime when practice started, he went off and was a kid and played in the grass and played with the other little kids. I never forced that kid to do anything he never wanted to do. So that's what I said. That's why he was the center on my team, because he didn't like any other positions because he wasn't ready to understand them yet. He understood how to hike the ball. He did it fast. And I was like, oh, I can use you there because that's really important. So important we went 7-0. Anyway, so when we were sitting in the room for the draft for the rest of the kids, I basically looked at my son's card, and then as I picked through the stack of cards, who's better than my son? Simple as that. Like, meaning the numbers that, because it was like a combine that they did in the morning, and then that afternoon we all came back and did our draft. Basically. So I looked at everybody's card, and if your card was better than my son's card, I just put you on my team. I don't know these kids, okay, but I know I was there for the conditioning, and I didn't even pay attention to anybody. I was paying attention to my son. I was there for the conditioning. I was looking at the trainers to see how they were doing their conditioning. Like, okay, so this is legit. I see what they're doing, and their numbers, the way they were marking these kids, was legit. Like I actually saw one kid catch 5 straight passes. Okay, so we pretty much know where he was going to be, and I looked at how he was catching. I'm like, oh yeah, he's pretty good. So I mean, I don't even know if I remember his name, but I do know he ended up on my team because I remember his face when he came to practice. So I didn't know his name. All I picked was from cards. Remember that. Everybody was picked from a card based on your stat numbers being better than my son, who's never played. So I got my team. We go to practice the next Friday, and one kid shows up late. Like I think everybody else is full. And I'll be honest with you, they could have taken him, but I saw a lot of kids. I saw a lot of the coaches really like quickly shake their head, and I know why. The height of it, he was really small. And she was walking down to me, and her exact words were, "I'm so sorry, sir. I'm trying to figure out where my son's supposed to go. I keep asking them It wasn't even Coach Coombs because Coach Coombs wasn't on the list. It was the one that was running the thing, he asked the one that asked me to run it for him. I basically was running his team because he actually had to rep for the flag football. So that's what happened. And then they just didn't, that's no big deal. They just didn't change him from the coach. So when he wasn't there and nobody could help him, and she was just like, I'm just trying to find a team for my son to go on. It was just, oh, we're full. It was like so abruptly, right? I even heard one coach say it from where he was, like, and then immediately, right when she walked off, he was shaking his head and then like got back to whatever he was doing with his kids. I said, I'm not sure. She gave me, I can't remember the dude's name, but she gave me his name. I said, oh, I'm sorry, man, he's not here right now. But I told her I'm actually taking over his flag football team. So if he's supposed to be on his team, then he should be with me. And simple as that. And then I introduced myself to him. I said, so I told her, I said, hey, I'll double check and just to make sure. But regardless of the fact, if you want to play, just come over here with us and you can train with us. I mean, he wants to be outside with he wants to be outside with kids. Like, I didn't understand why everybody else is so standoffish. Even if he wasn't supposed to be on your team, you couldn't just have him. He signed up. He was supposed to be on. So the names were just wrong on who was running the team. That's all. Y'all couldn't just let that kid just run with y'all for that one practice. That's okay. He came with me. He came with me so much that in the first game he scored his first touchdown. It sucked though because he got so nervous because of all the cheering. He actually quit on me and said, "Boy, oh, it was so weird." But like, I think his mom talked to him. So again, he's not a football player. He's just really good. His older brother, who I don't think he was on. No, he was on the A team. I coached the B team, the Saturday team. He was on the Sunday team. Sunday team didn't go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, we did. But his older brother's on the Sunday team. So his mom just wanted him to be in it, not forcing him, but a lot of them just kind of want them in it to be with other kids, have fun with other kids. It just, I don't think he's had good experiences with other coaches because of his height. And I don't know. I don't. If I can teach you how to do something, your height don't mean nothing to people. You want to know why? Because I can teach the smallest man to knock down the biggest. It's that simple. It's called leverage. Okay, learn about it. Anyway, so his mom talked to him, but he came back to me. He said, "Coach, I'm sorry. I was just so scared." I said, "No, buddy, everybody was just excited that you scored, man. You may not just be used to that. It's cool." But no, that dude was quick. He was so fast. So we won our first game. He scored one. One of my main running backs scored. And then we scored one on defense. We had an interception on defense. So that was game one. The Friday before game two, right before practice started, this kid named Donovan came. I'll never forget Donovan. Please, I'm gonna tell you why. But it was a horse. What's what I mean? So when I watched everybody at practice, right? The first thing they were doing, they were running plays. These coaches couldn't wait to get on this 1 hour practice field. Running plays. Hey guys, you want to know how sick in the head coach is? Well, I told you only had one formation, right? That's it. Okay. That's all I needed. And with the one formation, we had 3 plays. 1, 2, and 3. Now, can I pass out of that? We eventually did. We'll get to that. But it was for running purposes. Open field stuff. Get around. Get to the end zone. That's the point. The end zone. I need to get in the end zone. You know how long I need? 20 minutes. This is me the last 20 minutes. We don't need an hour of running plays. That's going to drive these kids crazy. That's what I need from you for more than an hour. I need a lot of running. Yeah. The first 10, because my players, we ran the feet. I know 20 yards. Nah. Goalpost to goalpost. Let's go. Yeah, 5, 6, and 7-year-olds. Why not? They run outside and at recess and practice all doggone day. Why they can't run a football field? Goalpost to goalpost. But here's the funny thing. When I did that, we didn't go goalpost to goalpost. That's that flag football. We can only use half the field for it. I do remember. I did it once, and it accidentally got in the way of one of the coach's practices, and I immediately stopped it. They didn't even have to tell me. He was like, "Oh, thank you, coach." I do remember that because one of my kids was so annoyed. He was so weird. He just ran off. He veered off into the other team's practice. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, okay, hey, right from here, half 50-yard line to the goalpost. That's what I did. I changed it from the 50 to the goalpost. But anyway, Donovan was so fast that by the time he went from the 50 to the goalpost, when he turned around and came back, the rest of the team was headed to the goalpost. I looked at that and I said, now mind you, he wasn't supposed to be on my team. He ended up on my team because the actual head coach, the flag football coach the head coach for the 5, 6, and 7 tackle team, he overdrafted. He overdrafted because he stocked his team with all of his tackle players. That's what he did. And Donovan came late, and since everybody else was full, and all I was doing, remember, I was just picking scraps, and I was just picking what's left. As long as my numbers were better than my son, didn't bother me. Guess who had got Donovan? Me, bro. Donovan played, and I didn't even start him. Oh, I'm stupid like that. I didn't start him. Oh, wow. You missed 2 weeks. You gotta get everybody else in here. And that's unfortunate. But he got in right after the 4th play. We got a first down, put him in. We were on the 35-yard line. He went straight to the house. I did that on purpose because I didn't want anybody to see him yet because I need us to still play football because I knew what he could do. And basically, I just pulled the trigger whenever I wanted. That's what he was to me. Because here's the beautiful part about me pulling the trigger on him. My quarterback was a clip. That boy had he was my. I called him Tommy. He knew it. He was my Tom Brady because I had him out here throwing the ball that way, not down the field. No, because my quarterback came. No, he came week 1, but he didn't. He missed the second week. That's what it was. He missed the second week. He came to the game, but he missed the second week of practice because he also was playing baseball. That's the thing about football and baseball season. We have to share. But it's cool. It's cool. But that's why we didn't start passing until the 3rd week. 3rd, 4th week is when we started passing the football a little bit more. And that's when I started devising plays out of the same 1, 2, and 3. I was just making pass plays out of them same run plays. It was that simple. Like I was giving my quarterback the ability to, if you see it, take it. If not, hand it off. Because number 3 never left his side. And guess who number 3 was? It was Donovan. Absolutely. Why? Because Donovan knew if he couldn't even get the handoff, he just rolled out and catch a little. And if not, his legs, he could just take it. I gave my players the ability to think freely. I teach them what I teach them. Have them understand this is what we do in the play. This is what we're doing. But I'll talk to the ones that I know have a bigger concept of what we're doing. Hey, if this can't happen, if this ain't working for you, break up, move, run. They know what I mean. That's why we're winning 36-0, 28-0. Nobody scored on us. We got scored on one time. And that was in the Super Bowl because I had Donovan. Because so I beat the head coach that didn't coach his own son. By the way, his son ended up on the winning team, of course. But the head coach of the tackle team, I played him twice. We all played each other twice. I played him twice. The first time I played, he did score me. I take that back. Because he scored on me. It was 36-0 the first game, and it was 30-6 the second game because I sat half my players early. And then they ended up scoring like at the end of the game. I think I actually kind of like it. It happened because we weren't playing defense, basically. It was already 30-0, and the game was like almost over. Like we kind of took control of that game like so early. So, I sat almost everybody and just kind of like they got that. That's basically why they got the score. But we had to meet up. He did win all his other games, so he ended up in the Super Bowl against me. I was missing my quarterback because unfortunately his grandfather passed away. I did have a backup. Mind you, the backup that I had in mind never touched the ball at quarterback. Not one. You know when he did? When he pulled up early with a lot of other players just to throw the ball around. And I pay attention. and I would see he had an arm. Oh, he can throw. Nice. And I just never, after a couple times, I would actually just throw the ball with him. We just never talked about it. I'm just him, my son, me, him. We just throwing the ball around. We just throwing the ball. Not no inclination that he's ever going to touch this ball in a game at quarterback because I had no inclination for it. However, right back here, hit pocket pimp just in case. I'm no need to showcase it in a game. That's why again, who was my backup when we were winning? My son. I don't need to showcase him. He hated it. He needed to do one job: hand the ball off. Turn his way, hand the ball off, baby. That's all I need to do. But the backup that I had when I needed it, that's why we won 12-6. Yeah, that was a tough one because I beat him again. I beat that head coach twice in the season, right? So he basically his entire defense, and I knew it. I had to sometimes I have to see it first. Hopefully, this doesn't cost me. I have to see it, and then I have to devise the plan out of it immediately as fast as I can. So I thought it was like 2-3 plays. I thought they were honing in on Donovan. Like he actually was getting that flag ripped. And I think 1 or 2 of them was behind the line. I was like, nah, can't do that. So there was one time I actually let him have it. And I just needed him to roll all the way out. I don't care if they got his flag. Where we were, I didn't want the ball. I just needed him to get as far as he can away because the way it works, you only get so many first downs, but after a while, then it's going to be a turnover. So I think with this play we had, no matter what, it was going to be a turnover. I just needed him to move the ball away so that I had more space for the defense to do what they needed to do. Because no matter what, he didn't get me. But I was missing a lot of players this game. Somehow they didn't get the information. I think I got sabotaged. I ain't gonna lie to you. I really think I got sabotaged, but that's neither here nor there. Because I did my best to find as many of the players that I could to let them know that the time changed. And again, I got what I could, and we won. All that matters. I devised the best plan I could, and we won 12-6. Donovan never scored once in that Super Bowl. He had some great runs, but they got him. But we did have 2 touchdowns, and that was all I needed. Because it was tied 6-6, and we ended up getting that last touchdown. And 7-0, we undefeated. But yeah, Donovan was ripping through the league. He was my not even a secret weapon. Like it was just when I pulled the trigger, you knew it. And like I said, not even on defense, he was him and my quarterback, my 2 corners, because they were eating. And mind you, one of my corners was missing in the Super Bowl because it was my quarterback. That one I couldn't replace because he was eating on. It's like he played corner and safety at the same time. The way I had him lined up, oh, it was so beautiful. Donovan was a little bigger, so I had him play in the position of more like a little middle linebacker slash safety. I had Donovan, I had my quarterback Tommy playing like safety corner. But he was big in a way that he could kind of scoot up a little linebackers. It was moving. But I didn't have nothing crazy. I just made them line up and I let them understand. Look, either you beat them or they beat you. That's as simple as football. I gave them the techniques and the training that they need. I taught them how to properly reach out and get that flag, how to cut off that runner so they can brace for the flag rip. It ain't like tackle where you can juke all you want. You get that hand out and get that flag down. So it was a real fun experience. But you got to think those experiences are what takes these kids to high school. It's what takes them to college. And then this is what we get, the NFL draft. I'm to see these kids' dreams come true. Remember, a lot of them don't make it. I don't want to make it out of high school. That's the saddest part. A lot of that talent gets put in jail, gets put in the ground, or just not the heart to do it. Don't have the ambition. It's a lot of that art. So when I coach, it's not even about coaching from the heart. I coach to uplift. I coach for a greater purpose of just the sport that we're in. I had a kid. He was Was it Roberto? What was he playing? He was a linebacker. He ended up being my outside linebacker. Kind of a defensive end a little bit, but he's more outside linebacker. But he was a backup offensive tackle, meaning he barely played. But what he did at practice, worked his butt off. And we, as the coaches, we really saw that. So one day, we had a couple players that weren't going to be able to play due to injuries. He came up to me. He said, "Coach, I want to play on your defense." I said, "Okay, take it what? Game Saturday. We got practice all week. I'll let you know my decision by Friday. Make sure you show me something. Although I don't need you to show out. I don't need you to be the greatest practice player in the world. What I need you to do is your job. If an assignment is called and I put you in that position, because you told me you want to be on my defense, so at practice, I'm going to put you where you asked to be. So I have to evaluate you all week to know if I'm putting you in the game in this kind of situation. There's a lot you're going to have to do to get on that field Saturday. I'm sorry. And if you're here all week at practice and you come to walkthroughs on Friday, I guarantee you that's all the time I need to say yes. You can. This ain't NFL. This is little league football. But I still need time to evaluate you. You still need to be put in the trenches. I still need to see what happens after the practice when we hit. Okay. All week went by. Never pulled them to the side and told them this. Never. If I pulled them to the side, I wanted to see something else. Like, hey, do me a favor. When you see him come in and do this, hey, I gave him points and tips because I was liking what I was seeing. Never told him that. I'm evaluating. Friday came. Value walkthroughs went through. We did a little powwow with the parents. Blew the whistle. Everybody took their trot. We don't run on walkthroughs. We trot. Everybody took their trot, goalpost to goalpost, and everybody went home. And he walked up to me. He said, "Coach." I said, "Oh, yeah. Good job. You're playing tomorrow." Simple as that. Simple as that. Get some rest. What's the motto? They knew the motto. I said, "Hey, what we eating tonight?" "Spaghetti, Coach." I said, "Not too much noodles. More veggies than the noodles." He said, "Yes, Coach." Because why? We don't eat fried food. We don't eat too much starch. We don't eat pizza before a game. And we don't eat nothing with cheese. No cheeseburgers, no nothing. Sorry. That is coach's rules. We do not eat those things the night before a game. It will weigh on our bodies. And I'm not going to have all that running we did all week spoiled because one night you just had to go eat some fried nuggets. And nope. Go put some vegetables. Go put some protein in your body tonight. This one night. The night before the game. That's all I'm asking. I tell it to the parents. They know. They understand. And that's why we dominate every week. But yeah, he had a great game. A great game to the point that he stayed on defense. Actually, that was our linebacker. But even much so, he became a chess champion later on as he was going through high school. He was a starting defensive player when he got to high school, because this is Pop Warner we did. He was starting on defense when he got to high school, but he also was a chess champion. I was credited that by my other coach that was telling me the story that, the confidence we gave him from that one time he asked us. He came with us with confidence. And we only told him, yeah, you give us this week. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to give you a week if I don't see what you've been doing at practice in general. Like, if I don't see enough at practice, no. So unfortunately, we need a little bit more work before I can stick you on this defense. Okay, and trust me, the players and the parents knew it wasn't no cakewalk to come play for me on defense. It wasn't. There was a lot that you tell me you play defensive end. Yeah, we'll see. You tell me you playing corner. Okay, yeah, okay. When I get done with you, we'll see what we really play. Because I had a corner. He was really great. He was great. His problem was, he couldn't catch anybody. He couldn't stop anybody that was taller than him. He was really short. But he was a hitter. Noticed that at practice, like when we did tackle drill, he can lock up. He wrapped up very well. I put it behind the middle linebacker, moved his position. Hey, I talked to him, pulled him to the side, and said, "Look here, you are getting killed at corner, and it's not your fault. Your height right now is your disadvantage. But however, I can use your height in another area if you allow me to use you that way." I talk to my players. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I tell them the truth. Okay, I didn't tell him he sucked. I didn't tell him he was a bad player. I told him, due to his height, this is Little League. It's different in Little League. Okay, it's not just gonna miraculously just skyrocket in height within the next 24 hours. No, but I got to find somewhere where I can use you right now. Middle linebacker who's eating people alive. I even had to tell his mama, I do apologize. If your son's attitude does change, I'm letting you know now, get it corrected. Like, hey, you digging it behind or have me do it. The only reason I'm talking to you like this now is because he's no longer a corner. He is a linebacker, which means he is enjoying putting pain on people. It changes your mentality a little bit. It makes you walk around like, who is you? Have you actually just been around linebackers? That's my favorite. Boys and boys. You been around linebackers? Like James Harrison, they have an attitude problem because they've been hitting people for a long time and they're good at it. And when you allow somebody to let that happen, that changes you up here. Telling you, divas or line or receiver, why they don't want to get hit? It hurt. They want to look pretty. Them linebackers, pain is what they do. That's what they live by. It's whoo! Sometimes I'll be like, how your chest ain't get caved in. And I'm talking about a linebacker and ran over my running back. But he took that hit and dragged the behind down with him, got back up, and then laid him behind. What? Woo-wee! That's football for you. But look, he was turning into that. And I was just giving her a heads up now, his attitude. And I'm trying to say he'd be a bad kid. Like, no, that's not what I mean. But his attitude, because he's been hitting, he feels some type of way about himself. His mama might say something to him. He might come, snip with some little attitude like, hey, don't blame it on football. It is football fault. But now that we know where it's coming from, let's get this control now. I talk to a lot of parents when I'm changing them. Because the thing is, I am changing his mentality because you can be doing a lot of hitting. Like you're gonna be lighting people up on a regular basis. So your mentality doesn't have to change. You can't be, no, get a face. Get a face. You know what I'm saying? Get mean. You have to be mean. Like I don't think that concept is in football anymore. Like you have to be mean. This is not a you're hitting somebody. You're putting pain into somebody. It's just not a like we ain't laughing about it. Anyway, let's get back on track. Coach got a lot of football stories for you. All right, so excuse me. We do have the NFL draft, and that will be held where are we at? And it'll be held in Detroit at the campus Meredith Park in Hart Plaza. You can catch it on ESPN, ABC, and NFL Network. Excuse me. Excuse Coach. Excuse me. All right. So it takes place April 25th through the 27th. Round 1 will be Thursday, April 25th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Round 2 and 3 are Friday, April 26th, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then rounds 4 through 7 are Saturday, April 27th, starting at noon. Okay. Here is how important the draft is for me, but you got to understand, watching rounds 1 through 7 are not that important. They're not. There's really not a lot going on in round 4 through 7 because they actually go quicker than you think because it's a lot of people. You think round 1 is from pretty much from 8 p.m. to doggone midnight. Yeah, it's that long. Round 1 is that long. And then you got rounds 2 and 3. You think they're going to start rounds 2 and 3 at 7 instead of 8 because it's still going to go to doggone midnight. But instead of it being 2 minutes, I think rounds 2 and 3 drop down to a minute 45 or something like that. So it's a little quicker. But even in rounds 2 and 3, you're going to see more action. That's Friday. Friday is one of the most important days in NFL. Y'all thought I was going to say round 1? No. Round 1 is the most exciting day. It's the most televised day. It's the day that gets us ready for the future. It has the number 1 pick. And then it has every first round. That's just exciting to see that you are all picked first from all these teams. Like it takes you back to the playground days of I picked you, I got you. You just sitting there like, man, don't pick me last. I ain't never been picked last. I tell you that. Only time I've been picked last, I've never been picked It's if I'm at a new park. And I've never, ever been ashamed of that. It's basketball. I've never, ever been ashamed of that. Well, what I've always done is if I ain't been picked, I find an open court. I'm gonna go over and if they're hooping on this side, run over here on this side and hit a couple shots, hit the layup. If I see them sprinting, I'll run to get my ball, sprint at the other end. You know why I'm doing all that? I get picked up in this game so they can see, oh, that kid working. I'm trying to hoop. Yeah, I am. And I stay getting picked up. When I'm not new no more, I'm on the court, pimp. You ain't stopping me. You ain't stopping Mr. Lefty. You ain't gonna happen. But I gotta get this. So never be mad that your number's not called first. It's exciting. It's all it is. But let's remember, Tom Brady wasn't picked first. He got 7. The first to ever do it. That's what's important. Being the first to ever do something. That's when you submit your name and your legacy. Yeah, a lot of first round draft picks. But how that T.I. said? They say I got 2 left eyes. Where they at though? That will have you dying. I'm just fine. Man, they gotta find a way for something like that back. But anyway, so round 1 is it's exciting. That it really is. So you especially when you got a team that out of nowhere got 3 first round draft picks. What? That's like, but outside of that, it's not rounds 2 and 3. See, rounds 2 and 3, yeah, it's so much shuffling. It's so much wheeling. Bro, you think you're watching the stock market on rounds 2 and 3. It's so many days. Ding, 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 ding. You hear that ding, that thing on trade phone so much. So many teams trading up, down, trading back. They had 3 picks in the second round. They didn't trade it back. Now they got 8 picks in the third round. They're gonna go pick. You know how much value that is to have 8 picks alone by yourself in the third round? You're gonna get everybody you freaking want. See, yeah, it's not about the first round. The first round is just exciting because it kicks off the future. But if you're in rounds 2 and 3 and you got plus 5 picks, you got plus 3 picks in rounds 2 and 3, you have a gold ticket. I'm telling you, because you're just bringing in the right youth. You're not bringing in 4th round, 7th round because you staggered. No, you still got them to come. You still got 2, 3 picks in the 4th, 6th, 7th round, maybe nothing in the 5th. And maybe you will and deal something from your 2nd, 3rd round. Now you got a 5th round pick or something you wait. That is what the draft is all about, especially rounds 2 and 3. It's so much of that. Rounds 4 through 7, it's that too, but it's not that it's slower, it's quicker because the rounds are shorter and they're just slanted. I think rounds 4 through 7 are more so really meant for people that bought their tickets for going there for the draft. That is where more celebrities do announcements. More celebrities, more charitable community things happen. That's what rounds 4 through 7 is. It's more so for everyone because it's like the rest of these players, and I hate to use the word. I hate that word, rest of these players. And it's such a derogatory term because they're no less than anybody else that went before them. But it's so much that goes on with rounds 4 through 7. It kind of takes away from them. So it's like you'll look on the TV and you'll see a team pick, and the next thing you know, like 4 teams have already picked. Like, hey, so it goes fast rounds 4 through 7. So it's not like sitting down trying to watch that. You don't need to have your ticker on. Get all your updates. That's what you need for rounds 4 through 7. Move around the world and live your life and let those updates come in so that your team, oh, we got this in the 6th round. We got 3 picks in the 6th round. I like that. That's what you need. You don't need to watch that. Okay, it moves too fast. You'll get lost trying to watch rounds 4 through 7. Maybe if you have a barbecue because it starts at noon. It's on Saturday. You ain't got nothing else to do. You just have it on the TV, but you really just kind of like hanging out with everybody, just chilling. That's different. But to sit down with you or just even having a beer with somebody, just watching round 4 through 7. Don't do that. You'll fall asleep like you're watching golf. And you don't even need to watch sleep because golf is very exciting. All right. So that is what that's the preview for the NFL draft. Let's see here. What we got next? Oh, next. All right. So that's what I wanted to